Referee is headed for the track to see where the whistle came from. I think it was in the crowd. Let's see, Tommy. The whistle went off while Shelbyville was backpedaling the pace. And what are we going to get? Unsportsmanlike conduct called against Lebanon? I'm not sure what we're getting. We're going to wait and see. All the referees have huddled over the ball. Let's see the call. There's 121, and here comes one of the referees to talk to Shelbyville's bench. I heard a whistle blow, and the quarterback, Tommy, was dropping back to pace. Maybe it came out of the crowd.
They stopped. Our guys stopped rushing, and everybody just looked around, and there was a whistle, and here goes the clock. So
here goes the clock
and
starting.
It's running.
Well, he tried to start it, but the clock operator has fallen asleep, people. He just will not run the clock. He has not started it yet. We lost 10 more seconds. Back to pass, looking, throwing deep, all the way down the field, incomplete. Tommy, we have lost 20 seconds by the clock operator on this drive.
Bruce, the reason they didn't start the clock is because of the time spent on the play that didn't count. They came over and talked to the timekeeper and told him to hold the clock.
But the referee wound it up, Tommy. I mean, Terry.
He gave the signal, but I saw him come over and talk to the timekeeper. And I believe because of the play that didn't count, the play that didn't run, they held the clock.
Good thinking, and that's probably exactly what it was, Terry.
You may be right. I was just watching the referee wind the clock up. It was incomplete. Back to pass, looking over the middle. That was caught, drop. Stephen Bentley was wide open on the 30, and he just simply dropped it.
Brinkley, the best receiver they've got coming into this football game, 8 catches, 174 yards, averaging 21 and a half yards a catch, and he flat dropped that one, Bruce. Open, hit him right in the hands.
He was wide open, you're right. 3rd down and 10. The clock is stopped with 72 seconds. 112. Ty takes it, runs inside. He'll get a yard. That won't be much. 3rd down. It's 4th down and 9. Shelbyville takes a timeout. There's timeout on the field with 66 seconds. We'll be back in 30 seconds. 66 ticks on that clock. 4th down and 9. Shelbyville has 1 timeout. Lebanon has 12. Shelbyville has 0. If we pick a score out of Baylor and Ray County, we'll let you know. That game started an hour earlier than this one. Right now, if we can hold them here, this football game will be over.
Shelbyville just 1 timeout left. 4th down and long.
Quarterback back to pass. Looking, long, incomplete, out of bounds. 1 minute. People, I think we're going to be headed east, probably to Ray County or Baylor. This football game is all but 1 minute over. We will take a knee, surely, and next week we will be trying to pick up that 10th win. Tommy, we haven't had a 10th win since Mark Medley's been here. We've been shooting at it, but we never got there.
It'd be great to do it. We've been in the playoffs every year. Coach Medley has been at the Blue Devil helm. We've had some 9-win seasons, but we've never had that double digit, and it'd be great to go east. We're going to go east next week against the winner of the Ray County Chattanooga-Baylor game next week.
Triplet will take this football and take a knee back on the 39 or 40. Back on the 40. Well, let's say one thing about this defensive football team. Shelbyville came in here averaging 32 points a game, and they have not scored. They have just taken a timeout with 46 seconds. Does that tell you anything about Lebanon's defense?
Bruce, coming into this game tonight, Shelbyville had rushed the ball for 300 yards 4 different times this season. Terry, coming into this game, they had averaged 240 yards a game on the ground, and they didn't even come close tonight.
20 carries tonight, only 68 yards on the ground, 31 through the air. Lebanon's going to hold them to less than 100 yards total offense.
I think probably that the schedule might have helped us a little bit, Tommy. I know we lost to Riverdale and we lost to Galton, but if we look down that schedule, we played 4 common opponents. But I think the other teams we played were a little bit tougher, and we talked about it coming over here. We thought we could beat this bunch.
You put our schedule together, and when you count Hillwood winning in the bowl game last night, our opponents had 53 wins. Their opponents only 32.
Triplet will take a knee and then run straight backwards. There's 42 seconds. Shelbyville is out of timeouts. We will have to take one more snap, and then next Friday night, we will head, where are you going to say, Tommy, Baylor or Ray County?
I'm going to guess and say Ray County, Bruce, kind of a rematch of the year before last. Chattanooga-Baylor, a football team that has not been in the playoffs since 1982. Ray County's been in the playoffs every year that I can think of for the last 6 or 7. In fact, they made it to the quarterfinals last year.
The clock is ticking. 10, 9, 8, 7. Triplet takes a knee. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This football game is over. The final score, Lebanon 12, Shelbyville 0. They came in here 10-0. They leave here 10-1. Lebanon leaves here 9-2. A great football game, especially for the Lebanon defense. Donnie Denny, let's take 2 minutes, then we'll come back, and Terry Stafford will wrap up the stats on a wonderful night in Shelbyville.
The Blue Devil Booster Club thanks the following contributors for their support of this broadcast.
12-0 on the Golden Eagle football field. Lebanon, it appears, will be going to Chattanooga next week as the Red Raiders of Chattanooga-Baylor have knocked off Ray County by a score of 28-6. That score, 28-26. That score announced over the PA system just a moment ago. Lebanon will be traveling to Chattanooga-Baylor next week in the second round, in the round of 16 of the TSSAA Class AAA playoffs. We'll be back with the complete stat wrap-up of this football game. Lebanon 12, Shelbyville 0. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Donnie, let's go to the phone, please. Let's go to the phone. How we sound? Well, he doesn't have any way to do it. 28-26, right now, so we're going to Chattanooga next week, and it'll be an hour early, there in Eastern time. Yeah, I'll be over. Okay, I'll get the pro part machine working. I'm coming up on 1 minute here. Right, pal, I'm hanging in here. We should be into the last half of this break. Okay.
You got it. Yeah, thank you, Mike. See you later.
There on the screen with Mom and Dad. As you were saying on the screen, Mom and Dad and Randy and his sister.
Football game, we talked about the defense. We talked about the fact this football team has not given up a touchdown in the fourth quarter all year. The streak is still alive. The Blue Devils with the win.
You're right, Tommy. Once again, the defense does the job. 17 consecutive quarters since Lebanon's give up a touchdown. This is our third consecutive shutout, our sixth of the season. Lebanon wins 12-0 in Shelbyville, round 1 of the playoff. Let's recapping the scoring for Lebanon. In the first quarter, 32 seconds left in the first quarter. Montoya Crutchfield, a 4-yard run, capping a 19-yard 5-play drive set up by Brian Clemens. Fumble recovery. The extra point was no good. Lebanon led at the end of the first quarter 6-0. Lebanon scores with 1 second left in the second quarter. as Steve Rose on a guard around. Great call by Mark Medley. A guard around with 1 second left in the second quarter. 85-yard, 15-play drive. The two-point conversion pass failed. At halftime, Lebanon led 12-0. The Lebanon defense takes over in the second half, and that's our final. Lebanon beats Shelbyville 12-0 in round one. Statistically, in the ball game, for Shelbyville, 20 carries, 68 yards. Lebanon carries the ball 50 times on the ground, 164 yards. Through the air, Shelbyville 3 of 12, 31 yards, 1 interception, no touchdowns. For Lebanon, Greg Triplett, a great night, 11 of 14, 102 yards, no interceptions, no touchdowns. Total yardage, Shelbyville 99, Lebanon holds them below 100, Lebanon 266 total yards. First downs, Shelbyville with 4 first downs, all of those coming in the second half, actually in the fourth quarter. Lebanon with 15 first downs, 4 through the air, 11 on the ground. Turnovers, each team with 2. Shelbyville 1 fumble, 1 interception. Lebanon fumbled the ball twice. Penalties, Shelbyville 2 for 26, Lebanon 3 for 23. Individually in the game, for Shelbyville, Rowe 10 carries, 18 yards. Jones 3 carries for 7. Brinkley 4 carries for 20. Ford 3 for 23. 20 carries, 68 yards on the ground for Shelbyville. Fair 3 of 12 through the air, 31 yards, 68 on the ground, 31 through the air, 99 total yards for Shelbyville. Individually for Lebanon, Triplett 5 carries, -4. Zach Dirksen 17 carries, 61 yards. Montoya Crutchfield 18 carries for 74. C 6 for 16. Joe Gardner 4 carries for 17. Lebanon ran the ball 50 times tonight for 164 yards. Greg Triplett, again, a good night, 11 for 14, 102 yards, 102 through the air, 164 on the ground, 266 total yards for Lebanon. Lebanon is going east next week to Chattanooga as Lebanon wins this ball game tonight, Tommy, 12-0.
We'll be back in 2 minutes. You're listening